Happy holidays! On my TikTok channel, I was constantly working with Palestinian families and trying to help them. And I do not want to end that progress here. So in the description box of this video, I'm putting links to families that I helped in the past and I'm still helping, while also to organizations, because I know that a lot of people have trouble trusting, especially on the internet. And so if you do not feel like you can trust me or you can trust these families, I hope you can trust these organizations. Now, why is a white person in Oklahoma who is struggling with craziness here talking about people in Palestine? Shouldn't I be talking about people struggling here? Absolutely. And I do all the time. Unfortunately, that was one of the biggest complaints people made when I talked about Palestine, was why don't you talk about Oklahomans? When my entire page was talking about laws that were affecting Oklahomans and interviewing Oklahomans. Sorry, PB has a bone that she was chewing on, and it was making a lot of noise, so it was hard to hear with the camera, so I took it away for a second. But she's a bit of a counter surfer. Yes, we had cousins who taught us bad habits. Yes, she's good now. Yeah. This holiday season, when I'm dealing with freezing temperatures in my own home, I am thinking of the Palestinians who are in tents and who are freezing because of the downpour of rain, the winds, which I understand in Oklahoma, winds are crazy here, and I know how destructive just wind itself can be, even if it's not attached to a tornado. I understand what it's like to not know where your next food is coming from. I know what it's like to not trust your water source. I know what it's like to not feel safe in my own home. I know what it's like to not feel safe in my own country. So of course I'm going to talk about Palestinians. Because I understand just a glimmer of what they're understanding, of what they're going through. And just that glimmer is enough for me to say, God fucking damn it, this fucking sucks! Excuse my language. It fucking sucks! And all the time, whenever I'm watching their videos, I still see people with hope. And it was their hope over the past couple years that helped me grow hope here in Oklahoma. Their endurance and their courage helped me learn how to have endurance and how to have courage. Because we're human beings. The only thing different between us are our experiences and our cultures. But when it comes down to it, we have these same skeletal structures. We have mothers and fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers, nieces, nephews, brothers and sisters. So why would I not cling to the hope that there is hope that the Palestinians will one day not be in a genocide? That one day they will have the same rights as you and I. In their own homeland. I experienced liberals here in Oklahoma, best friends of mine, who didn't boycott anything. Because they were busy with their own lives, and they had more important things going on, and blah 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 blah. But they also didn't donate to the families I was trying to talk to people about. They didn't help. They didn't talk about what was going on. And I understand when we have things going on in our own lives, it's really hard to see outside of this box. But if everybody is staying in their own box, then we won't see when there is a bulldozer crushing the baby out of a pregnant woman. I have severe gastroparesis, so stress literally makes me vomit. Thanks, Mom and Dad! No, but seriously. I can't thank them for this trauma. And I know what it's like to not be able to eat certain foods. Someone with gastroparesis in Palestine would be dealing with a lot more issues than I am here. I fear a lot of things here. I mean, my house has been vandalized because of my queerness. I know what it's like to not feel safe in your own home. And I know how that stress can literally eat your body from the inside out. And I also know how much it sucks when you beg and plead for help and people turn away. My own mother and brother this year, when I was literally starving because I could not afford the food I could digest, because I struggle the most in the heat. In the winter, I always do better. Not great, but better. And when it's hot, it's really bad. And my house does not have good AC. I was begging them, screaming and crying because I was starving. And they just kept saying, well, what are your goals? I just don't think you're trying. Or they were saying I was mentally unwell and starving myself for Gaza. The people of Palestine look like one of my cousins. They had the same skin tones, the same eyelashes, and that connection is not enough for my family. And so, when a little boy came across my screen who looked just like my baby brother did when he was a little kid, I begged and pleaded with my family to please donate to his family so they could feed him, because he was drinking water with salt. He was eating less than me. He was eating Jell-O and water. At least I was getting that gelatin, right? And they literally said, my family said verbatim, that they were willing to donate to the pets, the cats that I had worked with in the past, but they would not donate to this child. And that fucking broke me. I'm laughing because it's insane. These Christians who tout how amazing they are, so they would donate to cats and not to a baby. He had done nothing wrong, right? He is not Hamas. He is just being bombed because of the color of his skin, because of his religion, because of his ethnicity. That was it. That was a tipping point for me. Because not only would my brothers not show up to help me, they wouldn't even help a child across the ocean. And that got to me because whenever I talked about stuff I was dealing with, my middle brother, he's all about positivity, right? You're going through stuff? Well, someone's going through worse things than you. So I was like, great. You don't want to deal with what I'm going with? Okay, here's someone who's going through worse than me. And he said, what do you do with that? How is American morality so intertwined with Christianity that we say, fuck you if you aren't the right color. Fuck you if you're not a kitten. And then when I said, hey guys, by the way, there aren't any horses left in Palestine because those were the first. Palestine loves horses. I love horses. So I was like, great. They'll understand because they love someone who loves horses. And I told them, hey guys, horses were bombed immediately because they are so enmeshed into Palestinian culture. And they said, I don't care. I showed them cats that were being taken care of by Palestinians. And I said, this Palestinian is feeding cats. Can you help them feed the cats? And they said no. So where do we go from here? Christians are so up their own buttholes that they think that shit is what everybody deserves to eat. But also they're better than everybody else. Americans think that we are above everybody else in morality, and yet we have been a part of colonization more than our grandfather Britain. What do we do with that? We sit in it. We say, God damn, this is uncomfortable. Motherfuckers, how dare they do this? And we sit in the uncomfortability. We sit with the uncomfortableness of what's going on. We pause. Not because sitting in the stew is going to make us a better person, but because we need to understand that we aren't the only ones suffering and that everybody needs help. It is not just Americans who need help. It's not just people in Sudan who need help. It's not just people in Palestine who need help. The world needs help. Climate change, capitalism, patriarchy, these are all things that are tearing us apart, tearing us down, and shaking us out for whatever we're worth. And when it comes to capitalism, we're not worth much. But when it comes to our humanity, when it comes to us being a thing that's living here on this earth, we have a lot of worth. I don't need no sky daddy to tell me that I'm worthy of love. I know that I am. As much as the Palestinians are worthy of my love. So, if this moved you, or if you have the funds, something I've been telling people is $20. Break it up into $5 for different people, if that's all you can afford, that $20, or, $25, break it up into 5 different people, $5 per people, $25, you've helped 5 different families. Or if you have money and you want to invest into one family to help them, great. If you want to invest into a place that is giving money by giving food, medical supplies, resources, I also have that in the description box below. I'm not begging anymore. Because begging doesn't get us anywhere. And it's really having these conversations. Sitting down and saying, you know what? You continue to shop at Starbucks. You chose to do nothing. And I can't be friends with someone who divests from only when it benefits themselves. I cannot be friends with people who do not see Palestinian people as people. I cannot be family with people who don't see Palestinians as people. A lot of my family, they're back here at this point. I'm quieting the noise because I'm no longer listening to it. If they don't think Palestinians are people, okay. They can go and sit in their own shithole and they can complain about how nobody loves them. And while they're hating everybody else. That's what they can do. I'm stepping forward. I'm getting away from that. And I'm asking you to step forward too. Look at the people around you and see who wants to help people, who goes out to help people, who creates community, and who destroys it. And start investing in a better tomorrow.